When you went to the wilderness to see him, did you expect to see a reed shaken by the wind? Someone in fine clothing, like those in king's courts? Or did you go to see a prophet?
Prophet!
A prophet, yes. And I tell you, John is who Isaiah and Malachi spoke of. What did they say, Big James?
Behold, I send my messenger before you, who will prepare the way before you.
Yes, and this should tell you something. Among those born of women, none is greater than John. And even he has questions.
Another demon-possessed blasphemer, and you call him great. He called your religious leaders, you and men of God, vipers! Are you going to say something?
I think his silence is his response.
And here's what's so wonderful, though. None are greater than John here on earth. In the kingdom of God, the one who is the least is even greater than he.
Miracles.
Yes, John. Signs and wonders.
From who?
You.
Are you adding those to my list of infractions? Only a fantasy. You would have labeled Moses a lunatic for talking to a shrub.
Do you consider yourself to be like Moses? Tell me about your ministry.
Do you remember when Caesar traveled through Judea?
Yes.
He sent all these men to clear logs and debris for the coming king. Make straight the way for the king, they'd shout. Prepare the way.
The roads in Jerusalem do not have the same problem, but I remember the visit.
I had to move. Romans aren't kind to the homeless. Lost all my possessions.
Many in Jerusalem were frightened as well.
Oh, they were lucky to have you to comfort them. For a price, of course.
Should we be clearing the road for you, John? Is that the point of this story?
I don't like your frock. The cost of the vestments alone could feed 3 children in Nazareth for a month.
Do you hail from Nazareth?
And Jericho, and Bethlehem, Jaffa, Hebron.
I see. Well, you have a new home now. Whatever your mission was, I hope you completed it.
Thought you were here to ask about miracles.
But first, I wanted to tell you of a miracle that I've seen, but cannot comprehend.
And then to make accusations.
This is pointless. Clearly, you are not a frothing madman, but every bit as unreasonable.
You imprison me and accuse me of being ill-tempered.
I am
about it?
not your captor. Do you not understand? This is a Roman cell. I came here to speak to the warden on your behalf.
On my behalf. Why are you really here, old man?
The official reason? You are a Jewish citizen. If you have broken Jewish law, it sets a dangerous precedent to allow Rome to adjudicate.
And the real reason?
The truth? I am far from home. I am looking in places I would never go because I am searching for an explanation for something I cannot unsee.
No one else knows you're here. Tell me from the beginning.
In her mouth. Nothing could be done for her short of a miracle.
And she won't say who restored her.
He did not reveal his name to her. What? What?
It has begun.
What has?
If he's healing in secret now, the public signs cannot be far off.
Public signs? What? You know him?
You can say that.
What's his name?
Who has ascended into heaven and come back down?
I asked his name.
Who has gathered the wind in his fist?
Don't quote Solomon to me, you wild mongrel.
Who has wrapped up the waters in a garment? Finish.
No, you answer me first.
Teacher of Israel. Finish the oracle of Agur, son of Jakeh. Who has established all the ends of the earth?
What is his name, and what is the name of his son?
Surely you know.
You are careless with Torah. God does not have a son except Israel. Israel is his only son. All of us.
Suit yourself.
You know, they'll put a man to death for blasphemy like that.
Who will? You? It'd be a terrible precedent for Rome to adjudicate.
I should never have come here.
All your life you've been asleep. Make straight the way for the king. He is here to awaken the earth. But some will not want to waken. They're in love with the dark. I wonder which one you'll be.
Now, if this man is anything like you believe, or if he exists at all, you should leave this region. Your presence alone puts him in danger.
If you think he needs my help, you've heard nothing. It is right there in the book of Moses. If a man takes his brother's wife, it is impurity. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless.
I understand it's against the law of Moses, but I'm here for bigger purposes than the breaking of rules.
You minimize incest?
Of course not.
What if the laws of Moses will be minimized?
All of this will be addressed. I'm not ready to get into the specifics.
You appear to be not ready to get into the specifics of a lot of things. For instance,
Stay on topic. The romantic lives of rulers and kings has been and always will be of enormous fascination to people. It was covered at length in Torah. I don't see why you feel the need to focus on
he's
it now.
a client king or tetrarch or whatever. He's one of us, and he's unlawful. I am not afraid of him. He may not be as bad as his father, but he is still bad. I'm gonna march straight into his court, and I'm gonna tell him to his face. My followers will love it.
You do know how that's going to end, don't you?
I get arrested all the time. It's what radicals do. I'll be fine. Herod is afraid of me. The people hold me to be a prophet. Some say Elijah himself.
Maybe not the Elijah, but we both know of the Elijah-ness of your role.
Do we? Because I'm beginning to wonder why you're taking this so slow. Why you're always running away after performing miracles. Tell me, why do you always go off to these desolate places?
I need solitude. I'm working on something. A sermon. A big one.
Oh. You're the planning type. I always say the first thing that comes to my mind. In preaching and in life.
Yes, I remember from the time you started talking. And I heard about that brood of vipers comment. That was classy. Do you know how the poets say vipers are born?
Yes, they hatch inside their mothers and eat their way out, killing their mothers in the process. I thought it was a pretty good line.
Yes, but no one wants to be accused of killing their ima.
Yeah, well, I'm not here to make friends with religious leaders. And judging by that stunt you pulled on the Sabbath, neither are you. Are you really gonna be nice to these people?
I suppose not. Just be careful.
Now is not the time to be careful. 30 years you've been here.
David was a shepherd and in the wilderness and on the run for 30 years before he became king.
Yes, and then he ruled for 40 years. He killed a bunch of people, made horrible mistakes, and then he died in bed with a teenager he was not married to.
Maybe not the best analogy, but also she was there to keep him warm.
I know.
Everyone knows.
I know what you mean. But what I'm saying is, taking all this time, telling all these stories, I must confess, I'm eager for you to get to the point.
Look, I'm going to tell stories that make sense to some people, but not to others. And that's just how it's going to be.
I get it. It's not like I'm preaching stories for children either. It's becoming real, isn't it? Everything we've prepared for.
It is.
I mean, it's always been real, but It's one thing to preach about it, to hear my Abba's prophecy growing up, and your Ima's song. But it's heavy when it becomes real, no? Do you feel ready?
I'm always ready to do my father's will. But that doesn't make it easy.
Listen, I was rude to you before. But it's only because we go back so far and I can tease a bit. But you know that my heart is yours. My life is yours. The sole reason why I was miraculously conceived by two old people was to pave the way for you. I'm just impatient for you to get to work.
I understand. And I'm grateful for your part. You have done God's work. Albeit in a unique way.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
It's perhaps a poor choice of words.
Perhaps. So you're really going for it?
You know I can't be silent.
I know. Soon I will break my own silence as well.
Soon? Such a strange word, soon. Could mean anything.
I love you. And John, what you are about to do.
I've lived my whole life with warnings. Warnings are how I know I'm on the right track.
It's not a warning. You're doing what you're supposed to do. I'm just reminding you to be sure to listen to God's voice as you do it.
Always.
Ready, Simon?
Thank heaven you're alive.
What happened? Philip returned with news. John the Baptizer was taken into custody.
In Herod's most heavily blockaded prison. High security.
I guess it was pretty bad. They were rough. They hurt him.
Does Jesus know?
Mm-hmm.
Has Andrew heard?
Just tell me he's going. No, he's not going to be okay.
You're certain Herod says forever?
Yeah, I think that's what life imprisonment means. They signed the declaration on the spot. In blood. We'll never see him again.
You can break him out.
I know some people.
The zealots against Herod's army. That's a fight I'd pay to see. It's maximum security up there.
That would make it more fun.
No. No. You're not a part of that order anymore. You're a part of this one.
We shouldn't limit our options, is my point.
Now isn't the time for that.
I'm afraid the situation is worse than you know. What could be worse? It never used to happen to me before I met you guys.
I can't say that I blame you for coming back. We don't get interesting ones down here often. Every day it is something new with him, either demanding we pass a message to Herod or preaching about a new kingdom. His insults are very creative.
It will be embarrassing to me if you tell anyone about my visit or my friend being with me. But to you and your family, it will be devastating. Do you understand?
You were never here.
John? John, are you all right? What are you doing here? Who allowed this?
No one. We should be quick.
I'll be fine. Think of it this way, I've never got to sleep in a palace before. But what are you doing here?
So worried. Praying for you every day.
You've got a new rabbi now. The rabbi. Focus on him, and hopefully I'll be able to as well soon enough. She came to me in distress after Herod arrested me. Not for my sake. She was angry I didn't call out her husband's adultery when I accused Herod. She is proving an apt pupil. Did you talk to him?
Yes. I told him everything you told me.
Thank you, but that's not as important. What do you think of him?
I don't know how to describe it.
Like you are grateful for food and didn't realize you'd been starving?
That works.
Anything new?
So much.
Tell me what he said.
Nothing that made sense. Everything backwards. The poor, the grieving, the meek, all elevated.
Blessed.
Yes, and other things reversed. Love your enemies. Who can love their enemy?
He can. What else?
But bizarre imagery, like something about pearls before pigs and logs in eyes.
Yes.
Salt, murder, rain, God feeding the birds, houses on sand.
He's almost as strange as you, John.
Oh, I wish I were so strange. How many people were there?
Thousands.
Thousands. Wonderful. Wonderful. What else?
John, what can we do for you? How can I help?
Help? You're helping me by what you're sharing.
You know what I mean.
Come here. Don't be afraid. The prophecies of Isaiah. He has been sent to proclaim liberty to the captives. And what?
The opening of the prison to those who are bound.
His prison is nothing now that he is here. Do you believe that?
I'm trying.
Andrew, in all that he said to those thousands of people, there was something just for you. For what you are going through. There always is. What was it? Something that stuck with you.
Don't be anxious. Can you add a single hour to your life by being anxious?
It sounds like him. What else?
But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness.
Even more like him. So if you want to help me, Andrew, if you want to help me, listen to him. Go home and do what he says. That's what I want. Got it. I'll let Joanna get you out of here so you don't join me.